The American president's decision to hit India with the 25% extra tariff on top of existing duties takes it to 50%, makes it one of the steepest the US has slapped on any country. The reason? India buys oil from Russia. Trump says India's oil imports are funding the Russian war machine in Ukraine. Delhi calls it unfair, unjustified and unreasonable, which is diplomatic language for "you gotta be kidding me." Why has Russian oil become the bone of contention? What does Donald J. Trump really want from India? This is Quick Take, your quick guide. I am Smita Prakash. Let's get one thing straight. Russia is now India's biggest oil supplier, about 35% of our total imports. Why? Because when the war started, Europe hoovered up supplies from our traditional sellers Iraq, Saudi Arabia and UAE to replace their own Russian oil. India turned to Moscow for cheaper barrels. That's not charity for Russia, it's called energy security for 1.4 billion people. US-EU hypocrisy. The EU loves to lecture the world about cutting ties with Russia, but since 2022, it has paid Moscow over 140 billion euros for oil and gas. That's nearly 3/4 of Russia's military budget this year. EU imports of Russian LNG up 9% this year. Belgium's purchases in June alone hit 300 million euros. Clearly, someone skipped the practice what you preach chapter. And what about the US? Surprise, surprise, Washington still trades with Russia. $5.2 billion last year in chemicals, minerals and other goods. So when Trump says India is undermining the West's efforts, it's worth asking, what about your own imports, Mr. President? ANI's Reena Bhardwaj did ask Trump at the White House. Here's an interaction.
President, India says that the US imports Russian uranium, chemicals, fertilizers while criticizing their energy imports. Your response to that, sir?
I don't know anything about it. I'd have to check, but we'll get back to you on that. Yeah, please.
Let's just say the answer was about as absent as a working umbrella in a Mumbai monsoon. This tariff isn't really about oil, it's about leverage. Trump wants India to open its agriculture and dairy markets to the US, markets that could wipe out millions of Indian farmers if suddenly flooded with subsidized American products. He also wants a big, flashy trade deal, the kind that comes with headlines saying India opens its markets to America, something he can sell to his Make America Great Again voters as a personal victory. And Trump's not stopping at tariffs. He's hinting at secondary sanctions, penalties for any country buying Russian oil. That's a warning shot to others too. Toe the US line or pay the price. But here's the problem. India is US's largest strategic partner in Asia. It took decades to build trust, from defense cooperation to intelligence sharing, to standing shoulder to shoulder in the Indo-Pacific. These ties aren't easily replaced. Yet Trump is willing to risk them over a policy that his own allies in Europe don't follow. We've seen this before. His claim of brokering a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, which New Delhi flatly denied. Now he's pushing a policy that punishes India for protecting its own interests. It's short-sighted, to put it politely. And in diplomacy, friends don't arm twist friends. If the US wants India as a reliable partner in Asia and the Indo-Pacific, treating us like an adversary over Russian oil is, well, diplomatic equivalent of drilling for oil in your own swimming pool.